What's going on, Falcons fans? We are about to get into the game yesterday with the Bucks. I know y'all ready to hear it. I know we're ready to talk about it. Give us about 30 seconds and we'll start that. What's going on, Falcons fans? It is episode 56 of Out of Your Falcon Mind and the Falcons Fan Cast. I'm John, your host, joined by my brother, Mike Cottrell. Man, what's going on with you today, man?
Sad day, buddy. Sad day in Falcon Nation. I'm out of my Falcon mind, bro. I got a lot of shit to vent today. I got a lot on my chest, man. It's gonna be a good one today. It'll be a good show. This will be one of our best shows.
That's the thing, man. Yeah, that's the thing. Like adversity and stuff like that creates really good shows.
It really does.
I will say that. And before we get into it, first of all, thank you all for joining us. If you're watching this live, I know it's kind of a weird time. It's 3:00 on a Monday. This just kind of is what it is. I didn't get to see the game at all yesterday live. I saw about 30 minutes of it. My son's baseball team played at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. over an hour away. They won the first two games, which meant we made it to the championship game, which means we had to hang around till 5. Actually, the game didn't start till about 5:45. We didn't get home till like 9:30. So, but the good news is their team won the championship.
Yeah, Liam.
That's right, man. He had a good day. We won 12-2. So it was all worth it. I mean, I didn't get to see hardly any football whatsoever, so I had to watch the Falcons game. Started it last night. I finished it this morning. Took my regular notes, and of course, I saw. Like we were at the restaurant in between, in between the break between the last game and the championship game, and I was trying not to. Obviously, I didn't want to.
I was just about to say, I want to know if you was trying to look at it or you were trying not to look at it.
It was impossible. We were at Wild Wings Cafe, dude.
It's impossible. Yeah,
screens everywhere. People making. I couldn't not look at it. So at that point, it was 21-0, I think. And I only saw about half hour of it, and then we left, and I didn't see anything else until my butt Troy actually texted me and said, "You got to be kidding." Yeah, he said, "You got to be kidding me." And I looked at my phone and I saw Twitter just exploding with that Grady stuff. And I looked at that, I saw the play when it happened or whatever. And so, but anyway, thank you guys for watching, listening. As always, you can check us out on YouTube. You can check us out on iTunes, Spotify. If you're doing that, drop us a 5-star review while you're there. If you're on YouTube, hey, like and subscribe while we're here. We're always going to keep doing these preview and recap shows all season long, throwing in some cool guests along the way. And for this episode, I must say, and we don't really talk about it because we drop whatever kind of words we want to drop pretty much every episode. But if you are having kids around and you ain't got the earmuffs going on, this might have some explicit content in it, just based on.
Oh, Will, I plan on dropping a few, every curse word you can, A, B, C, D, E, F, G of curse words. So this one isn't for children. I'm a little frustrated. I'm going to get it off. Trust me.
This is our therapy for today. This is our therapy. You don't go talk to a shrink. We just do this, and hopefully, help some folks out as well. I'm just talking about it. But man, how was before that? We didn't even talk on Saturday. Did you watch any games on Saturday? How'd that go?
Man, again, just loving college football, man. I saw Maryland was in a rumble. I will say this, to his brother, ran the ball noticeably less on Saturday. And I don't know if that had it. I mean, his brother had an effect on him, but he did not. It looked like it had an effect on him, man. He did not run that ball the way he normally run that ball. He was trying to throw it. And I was, just hoping he was all right and his brother was all right. And it don't affect him going forward. But if you saw the Maryland game, his little brother was not trying to run that ball like he usually take off just like his brother. He did not do that Saturday. He was more throwing it than anything else.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't get to see much of that. I did see a little bit of the highlights, but I was wondering like how he was going to just kind of respond, because that's close to home, man, when that happens like that.
Yeah, I mean, if y'all saw it, he was like visibly affected. He did not want to take those hits. He ran out of bounds a few times, which is uncharacteristic. And it was times he could have took off that he sat, and even like the announcers noticed it. But I'm like, man, that's kind of expected after you see what happened to you. You're just trying to be safe. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I watched a lot of the early games. But I watched Michigan, Indiana for the most part. I watched. There's some really good games early on. Like those 12 o'clock spot had some great games.
When they said, how you feel about the dude who did the thing, Deion Sanders? He didn't shake his hand, or he shook his hand. And I saw that. I was like, damn, you did it to Deion. That dude was pissed in the press conference. He was like, nah, he been talking shit all week. So nah, you ain't about to shake my. And I didn't hear what Deion said all week, but he seemed like he didn't know what was going on.
He said he took the long way around in warm-ups, like in his players or whatever, and he was pissed. I mean, I didn't see what he said either. Would you see Deion's response?
Yeah, it was funny. Yeah. I mean, I'm
always as only Deion can respond.
I'm only on Deion. I'm always on Deion's side until you have to specifically show me what he was doing that was so out of bounds.
Yeah,
but I'm always gonna be with Deion.
I know. But yeah, that was crazy. I haven't seen something like that in midfield in a while. Two guys. Yeah, I did that. Watched Alabama damn near lose against Texas A&M with their backup quarterback.
That's crazy. Yeah.
He should have lost, dude. There was, so many turnovers, that just needless turnovers, and I mean, you could tell that Milroe was not comfortable at all in the entire game. He did not want to throw. They didn't want him to throw. I mean, it was rough. So. But yeah, man, let me check in real quick. Big Pop, what's up, Big Pop? Man, thanks for joining us again. Big Pop? He said, what did he say? I know it's early to say, but our defense looked better with Troy running the show instead of Walker.
Big Pop, I got something for that. I got something for 44, man. That's part of the show.
Yep, that is fact. Carrie, what's happening? Hey, appreciate it. Go ahead, Mike.
Congrats on the championship win. Hilarious.
It was awesome. Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. I mean, I say I'm exhausted. My kid played 3 games yesterday, and he fell asleep on the way home. He fell asleep on the couch, and then he woke up this morning, got to go to school, and we got practice as soon as he gets off school today. He'll be back on the field again. So hey,
but it will pay off when you make that $150 million guaranteed contract, buddy.
Yeah, I bet. Let's see. Carrie said, I'm still upset about yesterday and the special treatment Brady continues to get. Something's got to change.
Carrie, I'm going to get him. Carrie, I'm going to get him. Carrie, I'm going to get him. I'm in my zen right now. I'm in my zen. Show just started. I'm coming, Carrie. Don't worry about it.
Oh, we both are. That ref is part of the reason people question the integrity of the game, 100%.
No, that's 100% true.
Yeah. I mean, and we got Calvin still suspended, right? What the hell? Anyway, new week, though, as Arthur Smith says, focus is now beating the 49ers at home, trying to move on, but I'm still bitter. Yeah, I'm gonna be bitter for a few days, to be honest with you. I keep seeing that replay, and he declined to speak to the media last night, which I don't blame him. I mean, nothing's good going to come out of that other than maybe him costing himself some dollars, which he'll probably. I think he's got a radio show tomorrow here in Atlanta that I'm sure he'll speak to it in some way, shape, or form. But he was as pissed as I've ever seen him on the field.
Who you saying has a radio show? The ref?
No, hell no. The ref? No, Grady. He's on here on 6
a.m. Oh, great. I thought you were saying the ref. I was going to say, man, barricade the door, throw some gasoline on that room, and have a smoke.
Yeah, no, it's it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. Which, by the way, I didn't mention it, guys. We were coming, as you can see, on YouTube on the Variety Sports Network. So, as I mentioned last week, new relationship with SeatGeek. So, if you guys use SeatGeek for any of your purchases for tickets, just go on there, use the code VSN, get yourself $20 off your first purchase. And man, also just as a little side note, the Mets lost last night. So, they talked a lot of shit all year long to go out in the divisional round, or not even make the divisional round. But hey, that's all right. A few other news, man. Debo traded late last night.
I just saw that like moments ago when we was getting on the podcast, when I got on my laptop. I just now saw that to the Browns.
Yep, to the Browns. Which
love him, man. Always be one of my favorites, dog. We love you for what you did, but business is business. But that's always be my guy.
Yeah, and he clearly dropped off the last few years. So I mean, I wasn't surprised at all. As soon as he came off IR, if he wasn't reinstated back to the roster, you kind of figured, okay, he's going to be traded at some point soon. And I think he'll do good with the Browns. I think he'll be able to do his type of roaming around and doing what he does, because
I hope he bounces back. Man, I will always have a place in my heart for him, Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman. I saw Tevin Coleman in a 49er uniform. He scored yesterday twice, I think. He scored on the ground and on the. I'll always be a fan of those. Those will be my guys forever, man.
Yeah, I haven't even. I've barely seen any highlights at all from yesterday, man.
He scored twice, though.
Yeah, I'm like sleepwalking through the whole day today. Let's see, Kerry. What did Kerry say? You see the reference from Atlanta still right? Man, he better be careful then.
Man.
Most people don't know that.
I'm gonna tell you something. You never know how long the walk is from your car to Target until you do some shit like this. You never notice how long that walk is from your car into the Walmart until you do some dumb shit like this, and then it seemed like forever. And your face is on the screen. I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna wait. I ain't even gonna. Zen,
baby, Zen. Savion's in the house. What's going on? Such a better scheme fit for D-Bub. Wish the best. 100%, man. Yeah, I mean he can do what he's best at there and what their scheme is, and it's not what we do. And then so I mean he's just not going to be good for here. And I don't know if you just saw this today, buddy. Panthers fired Matt Rule today.
I just saw it, but that was coming.
That was coming for sure. Yeah, they're 1-4 start, and so that makes Arthur the longest tenured coach in the NFC South, which is hilarious.
Oh, insane.
And that also means that Rule, this is per Alan Bell on Twitter, will make $834,000 a month for the next 4 years, courtesy of the Atlanta Panthers. Man,
that's a good firing. Fire me. That's 834 every year. Yeah, fire me. I'll take. Yeah.
Every month.
Oh, every month.
Yes.
Jesus. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that's like I don't even know. Oh man, if I'm any team, like I'm not hiring if I hire a college coach, okay, I'm not giving them some kind of insane contract like that.
I'm not doing that.
Proven they can do it at the NFL level.
And he was hyped up. Man. They talked about him as if he was such a genius, and he was going to tear the league up, and he didn't do jack shit.
Yeah, I know exactly right. Yeah. And Kerry said they fired their DC. I didn't see that they fired DC too. Well, damn.
Man, they should fire a few more people that's on the team. They suck, man. There's some players on that. If you've been watching them, I
didn't see what did they just do. They were terrible yesterday.
Horrific.
Oh man, yeah, Baker's sucking too. Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, so let's get into the game, man.
First of all, before we get into the game, 3 Falcons. I was excited, man. You know I'm a Falcon man, past or present. Keanu Neal, Russell Gage, Julio Jones, all on the other side of the ball. I was excited. I wanted to see my boys play well. I hope they lose, but I wanted to see some excitement. 3 Falcons. Very, very rarely do we play against 3 of our former mates on the same day. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, and Julio didn't end up playing, right? He
didn't play.
Yeah, so which was kind of surprising. I guess he's really.
He had to be hurt,
like you said last week. I figured he'd want to be going for this one.
Yeah, he had to be hurt because I figured he would give it a go.
Yeah. So we talked about last week, man. We talked about. Remember, we were saying like how we ran the ball so well, again last week, and Tampa Bay gave up a shit ton of yards last week to Kansas City. So we figured, okay, they're going to try to fix that. We talked about how Arthur's going to try to, go at this defense. Well, he did what we thought he might do. He threw a lot more on first down than we probably should have, in that first couple of quarters. I mean, I get, you don't want to be predictable. I get it all, it just didn't work. But early in the first quarter, man, AJ got to pick that ball, man. Hit him right in the hands.
Yeah, that's one of them. One of the many plays, because it didn't. That why he has to catch that? Because he wasn't on the run. He didn't have to stretch for it. It wasn't one-handed. The ball literally came right to his hands in front of his chest, and he dropped
it. Yeah, that was a very we needed that one. And then Mariota started off okay. He had a really good throw to first through there, on the sideline. I thought, okay, and then he threw one to Franks. He's got. I know it's his first game as tight end, but come on, man. And it was throwing a touch behind him, but You got to catch that one too, man.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a lot of passes on that first drive. I was kind of surprised we didn't come at him on the ground a little bit more. And then Matthews got burned by Tryon. He got sacked with a 3-man rush. It happened a few times in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Offensive line had a little bit of a day, and I think we knew that Vita Vea was going to be a problem. We talked about it.
Yep.
It happened. I wasn't expecting, like, again, a 3-man rush. That's rough, man.
To get through like that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's rough. And then a hell of a play, man, by the D and Grady on 4th and 1, because Grady came through double team and forced Fournette or White outside and got hammered to stop him on 4th and 1, which was great.
If y'all was paying attention to a lot of the replays, it don't matter what the replay was for. If Tampa had the ball and they replayed the play, they was holding Grady Jarrett like you wouldn't believe, but they had their hands around his neck. They was clotheslining him. They was trying to do everything in the world to stop that man, and he was wrecking shop. They could do nothing with that man. I'm talking about he was busting out of double teams. If y'all go rewatch the game, I watched it twice now. He was unstoppable.
Yeah, I mean I can't imagine his offensive lineman going into the week knowing I got to face this dude for the entire 4 quarters. Like, it's just going to be hell. In the second quarter, man, long throw from Brady down to Miller. Casey Hayward made a fantastic play on it. I think I'm sure I know the fans there wanted PI because they were screaming about it. But like they said like the broadcast said, man, if the DB turns his head at the end of the play, then you can't really call that play. He's got just as much right to the ball as the receiver does. So, but that was really good play by him. Then just a great throw from Brady to Evans. I mean, you couldn't do anything about it, man. That one you had AJ on him, and you had Hawkins coming over the top. It was perfect. It was just Brady doing what he does.
When you drop that ball like that, there was nothing. I mean, he dropped it in the one space it could have been dropped at. It's nothing you could do.
Exactly. And then Fournette scores 7-0. Mariota was under pressure, man, a lot during the game. It started early. I will give him props. He moved out of the pocket pretty well when he needed to. We were still doing pass heavy on first down. 3-man rush, got pressure, kept getting pressure. Brady started getting hot, eating up the zone, finding those spots. Those receivers, they do a good job doing it. Rachaad White, we talked about as well last week. I thought that was a guy that might give us a little bit of issues because of how he can catch the ball in the backfield, run the ball. He was pretty busy early on. Freaking Cade Otton of all, a tight end. Come on, man. Like, we continue this tight end crap. And then biggest play of the game to me for us was that drop by Hodge. Because on that replay, dude, he
could have scored.
More than likely would have scored.
Yeah.
He had the green grass in front of him. One block and green grass.
Yeah.
So to me, obviously the refs call will get to it, but that's shit you can't do. Like, if you're going to win games, because that came back to Hannes in the end.
Yes.
Because if we do that, we don't put it in the refs' hands. You know what I mean? But anyway, but that was huge. And then right after that, Mariota sacked on second down. He had to roll and throw it away. Then Koo missed, which hardly ever happens, but it happens.
Yeah, it happens sometimes. Yeah.
So that sucked. And what sucked was they got it right back and were able to score it before half. So instead of being, down 10-3, we're down 13-0. It was a 6-point swing right there right before, and that was right.
They embarrassed me because I tweeted out, regardless of how y'all feeling. What did I say, man? I said something like, regardless of how you feel, them only scoring 10.5 is a win. And the Scottish Falcon said, man, I was about to tweet the same thing, but I reserved myself until it's actually the half because I know the Falcons. And then the Bucs scored again. And I said, your thumbs were right, buddy, to tell you to reserve to wait. I hate when they do that, man. It's hard to have faith in them when every time you jump out on a leap of faith, they go in reverse.
Yeah.
But I will say this, one thing that stood out to me that I was really super excited about. I know we had a game that we had a lot of problems and things didn't go right. Chris Lindstrom, when they throw a screen, The funniest shit you'll see is this man is like out in front of everybody every time they throw a screen. He downfield just trying to hit somebody. He in front like it's a heat-seeking missile. I love Chris Lindstrom. Pay attention to how that man block on screens. It's hilarious. I thought he did a great job.
Yeah, no, he's
I was paying attention to our secondary. Bro, our secondary can tackle.
Yeah.
Our secondary can tackle.
There's not one player that's afraid to hit you.
No, man. AJ Terrell came up on Fournette, and he didn't knock him down, but he went backwards. Both of them went backwards when they hit. I just respected that he did that. And Jalen Hawkins, the way he was stopped, he just kept coming up, stopping the run. But I thought it was a problem because how dope that is that he's stopping the run. But as well, like if he making the tackle on runs, we got a problem.
Right. Yeah. If it's getting into the secondary,
he made too many tackles on Fournette, and I didn't like that. But I thought the secondary made.
Fournette's one of those guys, man. Like he's so tough to take down, and then on that first hit, he's just a beast. Man.
He was giving us problems, man. It was like the Incredible Hulk.
There was one run I counted 4 or 5 missed tackles.
Yeah,
I mean, you just couldn't. I mean, Anderson included. I mean, he found out. Good experience for him. Like that's going to be one of the bigger, tougher backs you're going to face, dude. So like that's you're going to have to figure that one out. But right before the half, there is when Walker went down. It turned out to be a growing injury. So as of now, I don't know. I haven't seen anything today. I don't know how serious it is, how long he might be out. Growing is never a good thing, depending on how severe it is. But like. Even Arthur said in the post game conference, he said Troy wasn't perfect, but he thought he made some good plays, which he did. I thought for being thrown in there, I mean, he did really well, flying around, hit Brady, knocked him on his ass. That was fun to watch. Anyway, third quarter starts, 17-yard catch and run by Tyler was called back by a legal man downfield. It was a combination, I think, of Dahlman and Wilkinson that was in that play. I think they called it on Wilkinson, but it could have been either one. Wilkinson had a kind of a tough day too at left guard. It was not a great day for him. And then good coverage, forces a sack on second down, had to punt, and then I'm sorry, that's when Walker got hurt. Was right then was the growing injury. That's my bad. And then Alfred had a great play on Evans, man. Little man going up, making a play. 40-yard pass. After that, to Evans, another good throw. He just he got AJ on a comeback. He looked like he was going all out, stopped, putting his foot in the ground, turned around. AJ ran into, I think it was Hawkins. They collided or something. And he took off. Yeah, and then he actually looked like he scored, but they said he didn't. And then Fournette scored. So at that point, this is when I saw the game at the restaurant. It was 21-0. And I was like, damn. And I literally tweeted out, I was like, I've not seen 1 minute of the game, but is it time for Ritter now? Like, I mean, and I get it by not doing it because, you don't necessarily want to throw him into a game where Mariota's getting hammered and you're telling, this defense is running around like crazy. This is more like of a joke, but, then the next possession, another good run by Mariota. Well, I'll get to the stats in a second, but Mariota led the team in rushing yesterday. And he had a couple of good runs. Huntley had another explosive run. I love the way that dude hits the hole, man. He explodes to the hole. And him and Algier both had a good day, I thought.
Yeah.
And unsung hero, man, Avery Williams. Returns and kick returns. And obviously he scored later on in the game. He had a really, really good day. Overall, the backs were running well. And that's when Avery scored actually on that next play, 8-yard run. And D stands again, 3 and out. I think they had 3 straight 3 and outs.
Yeah. Yep.
So, it just took them a little while to get going, but, and then next possession, Mariota was sacked on 3rd and 17. Vita Vea, for some reason, Parker Hesse was blocking him.
And he destroyed him.
Of course,
went right past him. Yeah.
I don't even know why that was
that's unfair.
Case. But that's not a matchup you want. But we had a good throw to London and kept continuing the drive. A couple of guys in their secondary went down with injuries, so I think that kind of helped. And then Oz with a big TD. Went for 2 points, got it to Hodge in the back of the end zone. And then we get to the biggest story and play of the game or whatever you want to call it. There was number one, there was like a really touchy holding call before that in the secondary, which I thought shouldn't have been called. And then to be fair, Alfred probably had a PI on that play right before Brady's chair. He did. But PIs get missed all the time. So that's kind of like the game. I mean, they're either called or not called. And you don't see too many guys talking about pass interference after the game or into the next day because it's just part of the game. Refs are going to mess up every week. They do it every week. What you don't see every week is the play that happened with Grady and Tom, because there's nothing else that Grady could have done. I mean, it's been said, and dude, like when I saw that, when Troy texted me and said, "Dude, I can't believe what just happened," I go and look at Twitter. It wasn't just Falcons fans. Chris texted me. Our Saints buddy texted me and was like, "Dude, y'all just got hosed." I mean,
Shannon
Sharp went off. I mean, anybody in the media, Rex Ryan roasted him on ESPN. Like, everybody was like, "This is the worst call I've ever seen," and it's not. And dude, Brady, like, they asked him after the game, what'd you think of that play? He said, "I don't throw the flags." Well, you were sure as shit looking at him, won the flag because you got thrown down a little bit too hard.
The question that he was asked was, were you lobbying for those calls? And so they didn't ask you if you threw the flag. Man, so I just want to jump in here. I want to get something off my chest. So number one, I want to start with Zacchaeus is, I keep telling y'all, the boy is reliable. I told y'all he would make a play. He's like just a go-to. He doesn't drop that ball, man. The dude will get open when we need him. He's going to make the catch. I love Zacchaeus, man. That's my guy. So I don't have anything bad to say about him. The first thing I would like to do before we start anything is to, I got to get Arthur Smith. I haven't gotten him one time on the show. I've always was with him. I thought he actually coached a good game. I thought his coaching was what almost won us the game. But what I didn't like was they kept saying he had some next man up or some shit he was saying, next man up, so his thing was that he didn't change up the plays or the approach for the personnel. So he didn't care if it was my CP or if it was Tyler. He didn't care if it was Kyle Pitts or Hesse. What I'm saying is you better fucking care. Because if you don't see a difference between those two people and the two people I named afterwards, you have a fucking mental problem, okay? Why are you running a play that is for Kyle Pitts for
Franks?
Yeah, for Franks. A dog, like, he can't go get that ball. It wasn't even close. You have to run different play. If you look at Kyle Pitts and you look at Franks and you say no, it ain't no difference at all. It's just the same play. It don't matter who we plug in. Dog, that is like how we tell girls they all pretty, they all tens. That's not true. There are some ugly girls, there's some fat girls, there's some chubby girl. Like this, we tell every girl, "Oh, you so pretty." You just in your own way. In your own way, you pretty. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, she could be like a goblin or gremlin. We still tell her in your own way. What I'm telling you is for football, that shit don't work with grown-ups, adults, that's men. All right. To do that, and when you get CP in the backfield, okay, when he's back there, you can hike the ball, you can have him 3 yards in the rear of you, throw it behind you to the pitch. Like John has always said, he hit that line, so it's like he's going forward. Like, I don't know, it's from his years as a kick return, a punt return. He hit that line going forward, so when you give him a pitch, he going ham in the forward direction. He can hit the line very fast. When you do that to Tyler or anybody else, it's not the same. So when they kept throwing that dumbass pitch and like backwards, we lost yards almost every time they did it, or we just got back to the line of scrimmage. It's not CP, it's not Kyle Pitts. I get the gist of the next man up thing, but man, it didn't work. Don't try to say, man, Kyle Pitts is a unique talent. You can't compare, you can't just plug and play with his playbook. And CP is a unique talent. You can't just plug and play with his playbook. I really wish he wouldn't have done that. I really, really wish he wouldn't have done that. And continuing my rant, I just want to please bear with me. I just want to name y'all a few things that infuriated me. So this is my my time to vent to my psychiatrist. Okay.
Step into Dr. John, baby. Let's
Yeah,
go.
you know, I use you guys as my psychiatrist. AJ, number one, I'm gonna start this by saying, when you're not good, when you have struggles, you have a low margin for error. Now keep that in mind. You have a low margin for error. Tom Brady can make errors. He because he can come back from those. He has the talent on his team and he has the skill set to overcome his errors. But these are errors that you can't come back from. AJ Terrell drops a pick that's right in his hands. Felipe Franks then drops a ball that's right in his hands. 3-man rush was getting sacked somehow. On third down, we got a 25-yard completion to Drake London that was called back for holding. Hodge, Marcus Mariota actually was getting blitzed. He got out of it and made an amazing pass to Hodge before the screen. Before the screen, it's wide open. Marcus Mariota threw him a perfect pass. He dropped it. Casey Hayward was then in the end zone. They threw a stupid pass. He could have had an interception. Casey Hayward dropped the interception. Then Hodge dropped the screen that John said he could have scored. It was an easy 7. Rashaan Evans was a play at the end of the second quarter. He could have made for an interception. He didn't make the play. Then the same guy, Rashaan Evans, jumped right in front of Mike Evans for an interception and dropped the interception. We should have had 3 or 4 interceptions. Look at all those mistakes. These are mistakes you can't fucking make playing Tom Brady. When Marcus Mariota is your quarterback, you can't then have other mistakes. Have you ever heard that phrase? They say, pick a struggle. So if you ugly, you can't be broke. They tell you you need to pick one for people to like you. You know what I'm saying? If your teeth are really done for, you got to have muscles, right? It can't be too, you can't be both. So that's the thing. Pick a struggle. When it's holes all in the boat, you stand no chance, man. So I was infuriated prior to the Brady call. Before the Brady call, I'm like, you made too many mistakes. You dropping interceptions. Y'all can't seem the penalties. They didn't have penalties where we had a 2-yard gain. It was always when we went for 12 or more. Now they calling it back for penalty. So the Tom Brady thing was just the cherry on top for me, man. Because prior to that, I was furious with the way we played the whole game, man. Honestly, it was infuriating.
Todd, it's like you coached the game. That was perfect. That was, that's what you. And that's kind of what Arthur said after the game. And people were kind of riding Arthur for not like taking the fine and really getting after the ref after the game at the press conference. But I mean, other than taking the fine, like, dude, he got after him on the field. I mean, I don't know if y'all saw I think he said like, you fucking bitch, like on the on the field and other things like. He was more focused. He said, I think he actually said in the press conference, he said, I have to focus on what I can do to coach better, so we're not in that situation.
And what he can do to coach better is when your team is in the fourth quarter and it's 21-7, you do some play calling with some fucking urgency. Young, you was acting like we was up 14.
Yeah.
Like, what is with all these 2-yard, 3-yard run, man? We got to start doing. But I will say this. That shows you the last 2 games, he showed you what he think of his starting quarterback. He took it out his hand the last game, and then we had to start throwing that ball in the fourth quarter. He still wasn't trying to do it. He still was like, man, I hope for God these boys break a run. I don't want him throwing the ball. Yeah. So damn sure we losing the game by 2 touchdowns, and he still don't want you to throw the ball, man. Call for Ritter, man. Like 100%. I forgot who that was on our last show, but somebody said when you asked what did you ask? Like the biggest pet peeve of your season so far, or the biggest disappointment of our season so far. Somebody said the coaching, because I can't understand what they're thinking to not have put Desmond in yet. Now I don't know what you could be thinking. You clearly don't trust a man. We down by 14 points and you won't let him throw. Yeah. You don't even trust a man. So come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah. On the chat, man, we got Grady or Savion. Grady declined to get the press conference. Yep. I mean, everybody that we saw that we follow online that was at the game, all the reporters, Tori McElhaney, that was there. They said they haven't seen Grady that angry in ever. I mean, like he was like stalking around after in the commercial break, turning over water coolers, which he should have been. He should have been furious. I mean, he did his job. He did his job to like his
perfectly,
like perfectly. And yeah. And then see, Big Pop said, Rashad, yeah,
two actually, two. Yeah, he could have got two. He could have got two. He didn't get any two. I will say this before I drag Tom Brady soft ass that 44, man. I called it when we were scouting the rookies. I told y'all 44 was who I was excited about. The dude the tape looked crazy, like he could do everything. 44, Troy Anderson, special teams, down the ball inside the 10 on the punt. The first play he switched for was Michael Walker. He knocked Tom Brady on his ass. He stopped Fournette one-on-one several times. He made the tackle. A few times he kind of got his ass ran over, but you live and you learn. He stopped him several times with a one-on-one tackle, and he made group tackles a lot of times. He was terrorizing them, and he almost blocked the punt. He was this close to blocking the punt. Troy Anderson was going crazy, man. I think they had his kid in like a basement in Boston somewhere, and he was getting threatened. That boy was playing like his contract or his kid was on the line. I absolutely love it. Shout out to Troy. Troy is him. My man Savion just wrote that on the chat. Say he is him. I actually love that dude. But now I really want to get into, I just got to do this real quick before we even continue. Fuck Tom Brady. Fuck Tom Brady and fuck that ref. And I'm going to tell you why. The ref, I'm going to tell you something, man. I don't get into a lot, but a lot of people tell me I don't really watch that shit because I think it's fixed. I think all that shit is fixed. I don't think it's fixed. But when you see certain things, it make it almost impossible for you to defend that it's not fixed. When we saw Pete Carroll throw that ball instead of handing it to Marshawn Lynch, I never forget it because make sense. Marshawn, it's like having a battering ram and you didn't give him the ball. Like, what logic were you using? It make it seem fixed. And that's why it just make it seem like something fishy was going on. Is they was at third down and was about to lose the game. I wouldn't say lose the game. We
Give
was
us the
about to get
opportunity.
a shot. We was about to get a shot. And they called AJ Terrell for holding on Mike Evans, which it wasn't holding by any. I mean, it was we all saw the replay, and I'm fair. I would say it was no holding, something like, damn, it seemed like he just wanted to give them a first down. It was no holding. So I'm looking like, man, that was kind of petty, but all right, cool. And then the fact that I felt like if y'all was paying attention, nobody mentioned this on any sports show. Tom Brady was already pissed at Grady Jarrett. If y'all was paying attention, Grady was fucking him up a few times. And even when he got there late, didn't make the sack, he was knocking him on his ass. Tom Brady was pissed at Great Young. They was going back and forth all game talking. Tom Brady was getting pissed. They couldn't stop Grady, and Tom Brady was whining all game. He was popping shit to Grady all game. Now, the play in question, Grady, he got him, but Tom Brady landed on him. He landed on top of Grady Jarrett. I've seen Tom Brady and some other quarterbacks, if you let him go when he's still on top of you, they have gotten up and kept running. We've seen this. You could pull up tapes where they got up and kept running. Like he didn't slam me to the ground, so I'm still going. So Grady and everybody saw it was a light thing. He didn't even slam him. He turned him over. I'm gonna tell you what the ref did. What you saw yesterday was he tried to kick Grady twice. Big Pop was paying attention. He tried to kick Grady. They was going back and forth. Tom Brady was pissed. Now I'm gonna tell you this. Tom Brady, his new name is Jada Pinkett Smith, and the rep name is Will Smith. Because what you just fucking saw was the same thing you saw with Will Smith. is I didn't see the problem until you started bitching. He wasn't gonna call that. He saw Tom Brady, his wife, start kicking it. You see what he just did? He hit me too hard. Look at him. And then only when he started throwing a fit did he throw the flag and say, all right, yeah, he hit him too hard. Because my wife mad, now I got to do something. That's Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. So Tom Brady, to not answer if you was lobbying for that call, you was fucking whining the whole game, as you do. You are a grown adult male that plays the sport of football. You get hit from time to time. Now, I'm not mad at him in the sense that if you can like bully the people in the call that's in your favor, by all means. But pardon my French, that does make you a bitch. That does make you a bitch. When you whining, when a person can't even throw you down without you whining and really getting an attitude, that make you look like a little bitch, which you are, which we know you are. You the GOAT, but you a bitch. All right. And now you whining you whine, but even more the ref. I don't care who whining, man. If you can look at that replay, when that fucking replay is on and all the fans can see it and all the coaches can see it, it's on the Jumbotron. For you to be able to look at that fucking replay and proceed with the call, man, you deserve to have your job taken from you. There's no way you can call that. You need to have to be brought before whoever your supervisors are and explain why you still call that when you can see on the Jumbotron. Because the only thing I could think of is that Tom kept whining and you said, damn, I have to appease him in some way. And then you felt like, okay, I'm appeasing him here. He is so mad that he just got, he was kicking his legs like a child. Tom Brady was pouting like he was pouting like a child. Man, y'all ever seen them kids in the mall who don't get something and they go to rolling on the floor? He was doing that shit. And it finally paid off for him. He was doing it all game. He tried to kick him like he in the chokehold. Man, shout out to Big Pop. He just put that on the ticker. That's real. He was doing shit the whole game to Grady because Grady was knocking him on his ass. And I think the ref, just like Tom Brady, keep yelling at me. He keep yelling at me. I want to appease him some way so he still be my friend. And then he called that dumbass call, which was he ought to be fired, man. You called so I can't say we would have scored, but we would have had a chance at the fucking game, man. So fuck them two altogether. Tom Brady and that ref. The ref need to be fired, and Tom Brady got to toughen up, man. I told y'all he don't like to get hit. Man, that constant whining because somebody put you on your ass, man. You was whining. He was whining the first time he got hit. He was whining when Troy hit him. He whined every time. This is part of football. And stop protecting the quarterbacks like they made of glass. There's still a grown man. He's still in shape. He still plays the sport. And he get paid a lot of money. So you can't just be like, man, if we protect them too much, they're gonna have, you know how many touchdowns and yards they'll throw for if they don't. He can't. We can't even roll them down no more. Man, this shit is going too far, man. That I'm so furious because again, I won't say they cost us the game. That seemed like it was blatantly and intentionally a call to appease him.
100%, dude. I mean, you said everything
he's mad. So I want him to be my friend. It is Tom Brady. If y'all recall Jordan, he would do that. You know, every great player would do that. I seen Jordan do it. I seen young LeBron do it, man. If you got the power to scare the ref into calling some shit, you kind of use it. So I'm not mad at that. But I am mad because it's like, bro, you need to toughen up. And that ref, you cannot be doing that. He's not a pretty girl who you like. He ain't your cousin. There's no way it's supposed to be fairness. You a ref. Call it like you fucking see it. There are no makeup calls. There are no, and you did it twice on the same drive. So that's why it's suspicious. Because you gave him a first down on a holding call, which was clearly not holding. And then you gave him a first down on a roughing call, which wasn't roughing. Now I'm lost. It just seemed like you got paid or something. You was doing something wild. Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith, round 2.
It's a hell of an analogy, dude. It's a great analogy on that one.
That's what it was. He wasn't mad until he got up mad. That same thing Will Smith did.
Yeah, you're right. You're exactly right. And then Big Pop said also had an illegal formation when Brady and the kicker were on the field at the same time, but the refs held the ball for some one reason. Yeah, exactly. I mean, don't even know why that happened, but yeah. And then like you said, dude, like I don't care if he's 60 years old, man. If he chooses to play in the game in the NFL and a team chooses to sign him and put him on the field, we'll hit you just as hard as hit a 25-year-old.
Yes. Yep.
I mean, I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter to me. And to me, dude, like, it's getting to the point where, you know how in college, like, the targeting rule is you have they go to review every time. They review every targeting to make sure it was actually targeting.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's about time we review every roughing the passer.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, I'm all for it. Like I said, I'm all for it. Like, but you don't want quarterbacks just going down left and right.
Mm-hmm.
But they have to be able to play the game the way it's supposed to be played. So, I mean, if like you said, if you review that play and they all still decide that it's roughing, then they all need to be fired. Whoever decides that needs to be fired, because that's just not you got like all the guys in the booth were losing their mind. They were like, yeah, Arthur, I'm with you, dude. I don't know what to tell you on that one. That one's crazy. It makes no sense. But we talked about it before. We talked about it earlier in the year, like the whole thing, the defender landing on the quarterback. Well, if you hit the guy, there's only one or two ways that can happen. Normally, a guy that size or any size can't just remove himself from the body of someone else, in midair. In the same sense, like you said, dude, if he lets go of him, that's not completing his job. That didn't complete the tackle, doesn't complete the sack. So I don't care who it is, like they can still put their feet down and move and get out of that play. And what if he scrambles and completes the play? And so
he has to touch the ground. My job is to grab him and put him on the ground.
He didn't ragdoll him.
Yeah, young. They act like they want you to grab him and then place him on the ground gently. That's what it's coming to. And I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if all of this is for the Tua thing, but even the Tua hit. Now I hope that man is all right. And
Brady landed on his ass.
Huh?
Brady landed on his ass.
And he got thrown over and he was down. He was on the hips. He didn't even hit him high. He didn't hit him low. He hit him right where he's supposed to be. And the hit on Tua was also a clean hit. He just hit his head. Yes. He didn't do nothing wrong. He just happened to hit his head, which what I'm saying is people get injured. Chris, Olave got hit the exact same way yesterday. The exact same thing happened to him. It was no call. Because it's a quarterback. The exact same thing happened though. But that's part of football. Is you get hit hard sometimes. If you're trying to run or you're trying to throw, sometimes you get hit hard, and we can't take that out of the game for anybody. Like where you can hit everybody else hard, but don't ever hit this person hard. Not, bro. You cannot play football like that. At the end of the day, it's football. Let them play football, man. I think so. And me and John have discussed it on this podcast before. All of the stupid, if I jump up in my hand, if you're trying to throw and I jump up with my hands in the air, man, I can't even bring my hands down and touch your helmet. What type of shit what is happening? So, man, hold on, man. I can't even slap his helmet. This is football. Now, if I pull at the mask or if I hit him in the nuts, if I clothesline somebody, of course there are things that if I headhunt, if I leave with my helmet, anything like that, I'm all for, man. But these rules plays quarterbacks are really ruining the game of football. And honestly, you don't ever want to call to cost you the game, maybe.
Right. Yeah. Like you said, I mean, it's not like we can't say it cost us the game, but it sure as hell cost us the opportunity because we had a lot of momentum going at that point.
And we had a time. So, we would have had a lot of time.
Absolutely, we had time. And, and it goes back to what Arthur said and what we talked about and what you ranted about a few minutes ago. As many fuck-ups as we made that entire game, we put ourselves in that position.
Yeah.
We could have been up. We could have been tied. We could have been in a lot better position had we not made all those mistakes. That was a lot. That was a lot.
There was a lot of mistakes. We really caught. So I want y'all to know, like, the Brady thing cost us an opportunity to drive and win the game.
Yeah, but we shot ourselves in the foot.
But we the reason we lost the game. We lost that game prior to that point. with all we did so much, so many ball drop passes for receiver. If you saw that list I just named, that was quite a few things where we had the ball in our hands and we let it go. We could have had a turnover. We could have scored a touchdown. You cannot, when you're not that good, you can't pick a struggle. You can't also make mistakes.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, right. And did you see they asked Jerome Boger about it? Did you see his response?
No, I would love to hear his response. He said what?
Oh, you haven't heard it?
No.
Oh, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. What I had was the defender grab the quarterback while he was still in the pocket, which that's also part of the job, and unnecessarily throwing him to the ground. Boger said in his post-game pool report, that is what I was making my decision based on.
Now here's what I'm saying. I would
one second.
Yeah.
That's the dumbest fucking answer I've ever heard.
Oh no, yeah, that I've ever heard, because I would assume if I heard that answer and you said, what is he reffing? I would have said a checker game. I mean, like
but you must have threw the guy off his seat and he hit the ground hard for some reason.
Some shit that's like not physical. That somebody, I was just saying, he almost had my tic-tac-toe, and before he did toe, he just got up and threw him to the ground. It was unnecessarily. It's football. What do you mean we trying to win the game? The game is on the line. What did you want him to do? And like I said, I just think it's Tom Brady, and he threw him down. He threw a fit. Like he started kicking and got up doing all this, and the dude just like, man, it's Tom Brady. He been whining all game. I got to give him a call.
I mean, if I'm
you have to lose your job for that. I'm sorry. Like you have, when you're blatantly wrong, when you blatantly make a mistake that is obvious and you can't explain it, you have to get fired for you're screwing up the integrity of the game.
If that's your explanation,
you got to go,
dude. Like you're saying that you threw it because what was he supposed to do in the situation? He had his arms wrapped around the guy. Of course, he has to throw him to the ground. What else is he supposed to do? Just sit there and hug him for a little while?
And he landed on top. Yeah, he landed on top of him. I have to spin him to the ground to complete the tackle, or he's still a live runner. I have to turn over.
Man, if I'm Falcons management, I mean, nothing's going to be done, but I'm making every call I need to make today to the NFL. Saying I need some. I mean, I know you're going to do anything. It's not going to change the outcome of the game, but I need some type of explanation of what's going on here, because I mean, you can't coach a player not to do that. That's what he's supposed to do. That's his fucking job. Like he did his job exactly how he's supposed to do it. So
New York is supposed to be able to call in on those plays. I think that the New York should be able to call in and stop the play. You can call in for some certain things.
Dude, like I said, I think that roughing the passer needs to be one of those things that's reviewed.
It has because it's too much of a penalty. Yeah,
it's gotten so subjective. It's just gotten
it really is subjective.
It's gotten to like whatever ref, whatever quarterback might be is what's making these plays. What's making these calls. So it's ridiculous, man.
Man, I tell you this too. Michael Vick have to be at home like you dirty. They used to let Michael Vick get punished and wouldn't call. Now, I know he's sitting at home like, man, these new rules look amazing. But I'm just saying, if y'all recall, who got hit by the Vikings, man? Was it Aaron Rodgers? It was like 2 years ago. I remember he got hit. It was ridiculous. Like, y'all acting like these men can't be hit or touched at all, can't get thrown down to the ground. If you hit them, they will call a penalty if you hit them too hard.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like, what, man, we not playing football when come on, man. Unnecessary roughness, man, on the quarterback. And why? Because I'm running full speed and I'm 290 pounds and I run a 4.4. You really are asking me to stop physics at some point.
Yeah.
Exactly. Rise up.
That's right. Hey, what's that? Nathaniel Hart joining me. What's up, buddy? Appreciate you watching, man. I mean, it was frustrating, man. Like I'll be interested to see how this week goes and see if he refs the game in Atlanta, because he's not going to have a very nice time if that happens, because I mean they're going to be every call he makes, it's going to be just booze the entire time.
But he should be on probation. If he's not fired, he got to be on probation. When you do that, they ought to have eyes on you. Listen, man, if like you Google, man, like certain things, you will be on a list somewhere. He need to be on a list of people who could possibly be betting or doing something. What you need to go on a list. When you do shit like that and you can't explain it, you need to be on probation under some form of scrutiny, because that is ridiculous. The whole stadium agrees that what the fuck are you talking about? Everybody at home is, what are you talking about? All the sports people around the country, like, what are you talking about? All the players on the field, like, what are you talking about? And yet and still you proceed, something is up.
Yeah, I don't understand. You see the Falcons change their header on Twitter?
I did see that. Hilarious.
Fucking awesome. It's the actual. If you guys haven't seen it, it's basically Grady with his arms around Tom and about to take him down. So they changed that last night, which I thought was great. We already kind of talked about what Arthur said in the post conference. He basically just said he loved to fire the team. That just made too many mistakes during the game, which we just talked about. Mike eloquently pointed out pretty much every mistake that we made.
Yeah.
Which was too damn many. Yeah, to overcome. And they interviewed Marcus. He said he was feeling way more comfortable week to week just from not playing for so long. He's getting more comfortable. That may be the case, but his stats really aren't reflecting that. But he said they're a tough defense, which they are. I mean, like we said it last week on the show. We said it sucks getting a good team coming off a bad week, because they're going to come in wanting to fix everything they did wrong. They ran the ball a lot better and a lot more than they did the previous week against the Chiefs. The defense played a lot better. So, kudos to them, because they got the players, they got the talent to do it. But he said we got to, and this was huge too. He said we've got to be better on first and second down, which, yeah, I mean, play action on first down and then running it on second to create third and long in a lot of situations. That's not going to be a recipe to win, man. I don't care if you play, I don't know who you play. Like, that's not going to be the best recipe. So I didn't get that a whole lot. When you've got two backs like that are running hard, I mean, I don't know that I change up too many things until they've proven that they can stop it. Give them a chance at least to go out there and do it, because every time they, if you just want to look at Mariota was, I told you before, he led the team in rushing. He had 7 carries for 61 yards, and a 23-yard was long. Algier had the most carries with 13. Mariota was 14 for 25 with 147 yards, a touchdown. He had sacked 5 times, which weren't all his fault. Like I said, the offensive line had a rough day yesterday. QBR was 59. In the first half, I believe he was 5 for 14 with a QBR of about 47. Like, and look, I know we're not like a passing prolific team, but he's got to be a little bit more confident, because we talked about last week as well on the preview. We talked about if we're going to win this game, he has to be better. If the run game is good, okay, great, but he has to be better, and he just wasn't. I mean, that's just the bottom line. We rushed for 151 yards again. So, I mean,
man, he is so trash that I'm starting to view him on like a bell curve. Like, I don't even I thought he played well and he didn't. So that's how I'm grading him now with a curve, like with a bell curve. It's like a paraplegic who's in a slam dunk contest. I don't expect for you to do but so much. I don't. So I thought he played well. Like, I swear, I don't even have a he sucks. So I don't expect him to do well anymore. So, but he sucked good. I didn't mean that.
It's just a consistency. Like, he hit a few really good throws, and he missed a few really bad.
He did, right?
And he missed a few, and he had some bad drops. Like, I mean,
the
Hodge drop was terrible. The Hodge drop was terrible.
Money.
Yeah, the Franks drop was terrible.
Yeah.
So it's not all. It was not all on Mariota. It's just that Mariota's.
It wasn't this game.
Yeah, and it's not. I mean, it was collectively they made enough mistakes between the offensive line. Now, I did think. I mean, the defense held the Bucs to 21 points. I think that was good enough to win the game. With our defense. I mean, like, really. I mean, I think they did what they could. 3 straight 3-and-outs. I mean, you got to start it. You got to be able to capitalize on that. Brady, threw the ball 52 times, 351 yards. I mean, and a touchdown. And Fournette, even though it looked like he was running I mean, he only had 56 yards,
Mhm.
14 carries, 56 yards. But they were in big situations a lot of the time.
It was.
And his receiving yards is where he killed us. 10 receptions
Mhm.
out of the background,
Them
out
slow
of the
passes.
backfield. Yeah, for
That's by
82.
1,000 cuts, man.
Yep. He had 11 targets, which led Tampa Bay, and 83 yards, which that hurt. And then you talked about earlier, man, our secondary making tackles.
Yeah.
Jalen Hawkins was our leading tackler with 11, 8 solo, and then Mikael Walker before he got hurt, 11 and 7 solo, and then Richie Grant with 7 and 6 solo. So yeah, if your two safeties are making the majority of your tackles, then
It's a
man,
prop. Like I
not great.
said, it was awesome to see. If y'all rewatch it, Jalen was running up full speed, laying people, but like start to notice like he shouldn't be the one making contact first on running
Yeah,
plays.
yeah, exactly. We'll see what's going on. B Pop says his crew was banned from officiating in the playoffs last season for this very reason. Shit, I believe it. He should be banned just from doing his job. He needs to do
Now
something
they
else.
told me that he did the same thing to Josh Allen last week, but I don't know what anyone said. I didn't see that, but they told me the same dude did
I'll
the
have to go
same
back and look at
thing.
that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't see it
same
either.
thing to Josh. So I'm like, yeah, he gotta. If that's right, Pop, he gotta go. Anytime you like, so he's not good at his job. Anytime that you being banned from playoffs and
No, exactly. You can read what Savion said, Mike.
yeah, think about how good this offense would be with the threat of intermediate to deep passing game consistently. That's from my man Savion. That's what I'm saying. That's why I need Ritter. Cause with
Or
Eminem in there,
any
bro,
confident
when
man.
he dropped back to throw, I panic every time because I figure he gonna overthrow or underthrow. He's just a wild dude. He's not accurate at all.
Well, hey, Pop followed up with, I
See?
mean,
Look, just what I said. He's not accurate at all. And then here goes Pop. Marcus has the worst deep ball accuracy I've seen in a while. Yeah, overthrowing by at least 5 yards. Like I told you, he cannot when he dropped back, like I panic every time because I'm like, he either gonna way overshoot this or he gonna underthrow it. But he's really good at running, but that's really it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we said, and we even said in the previous show there. I mean, like, they had a hard time with running quarterbacks. Well, I mean, he did that part of his job. But I mean, yeah, I just, we said last week, during the game, he probably shortened his time. Like, I don't see anything changing. Like, I don't know why, we wouldn't. I think that Cincinnati game or that Panthers game is looking a lot more likely. Just looking on the outside, looking in, that we see Ritter by then, because I don't know what our record's going to be. Obviously, we got a tough matchup with the 49ers coming up, which we'll get into later this week on the preview show. But shit, we thought we had problems with Tampa Bay's defensive line. I mean, San Francisco's probably better. So that's going to be, they're going to have to be ready for that one. And, a guy named Deebo Samuel that's pretty decent on offense. So, I mean, that's going to be a tough ride too. But yeah, I mean, it's frustrating, man, because, like you said earlier, you make so many mistakes that you force yourself to, we're talking about this call. We've been talking about this call regardless, but we're talking about it a lot more because of the issues that we had prior to the penalty. But I can't wait to hear what Grady has to say, man.
Yeah,
which
me
I guess
too.
will be tomorrow. I mean, because
he don't want to get fined. He had to calm down first. You say the wrong thing.
That's why I can't coach. I mean,
Yeah,
no, I don't have the, like, in the post game. I probably would have just lost my shit. Like, I don't know. I
man, you
couldn't have kept
can't.
it
Oh
together.
my god! If I was the coach, I'd be like, man, he probably cheating. I think he cheating, or he done took some money. They'd been like
No,
50,000.
no. If it was you, you'd have been like, they'd have
Oh,
been like, no. The owner would
I'd
have
have been
probably
like,
been like,
fuck him. Like his girlfriend ugly. I hate his dog. His feet stink. I'd have been dragging him because I feel like that shit. I saw you do the same thing on the same drive 2 different times when you gave him a first down that was based on a wrong call. So that's why it seemed very suspicious. Like you just was trying to get them the W. It was weird.
yeah, it was, yeah. And looking at the PFF grades per Evan Birchfield on Twitter,
Man, he needed PFF grade.
no shit. They need to be,
Yeah.
like, I wonder if I'm sure they do. Like in the Major League Baseball, they have grading cards for like how accurate the umps are. Like, I wonder if they do that with the NFL. Anyway, the top 5 PFF offensive grades, if anybody's interested. Lindstrom, number 1, 78.2. Drake London, 77.2. Cole Pruitt, 75.5, Caleb Huntley, 73.7, and Kadero Hodge, 73.7. Top 5 defensive grades shouldn't be a big surprise. Grady Jarrett, number 1, 80.5. Dean Marlowe, 79.7. Casey Hayward, 74. Abdullah, 73. And Richie Grant, 70.6. I mean, we talked about it in a previous show, man. Like, I keep saying that, but we might know what we're talking about from time to time. But we talked about the interior line, offensive line for the Bucs being their biggest kind of like, and dude, Brady tore him up, man.
Tore him up.
I mean, that's just what he does, and it's just a bad offensive lines. Light Ice Trey, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining us. He said, ruin. I love that. Ruined my whole Sunday. Couldn't even complain about Mariota's play. Starting a GoFundMe for Grady so he can go off tomorrow. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Not that he needs it, but
I agree with him. Is you couldn't put this on Marcus. You couldn't put it on Eminem. And I drag Marcus, but he actually made a few plays.
He made enough.
Yeah, he did enough. Like he did enough. So, but with all the drops on offense and the drops on defense, you're not winning that.
Yeah, he could have been a lot better, but he did enough at that point to win us the game. And Light Ice Trey said also death taxes and Chris Lindstrom being that dude. Hell yeah, that is a fact.
Chris Lindstrom balled out
week after week, man. That's he just does his job better than anybody else. Yeah, man. So I mean, there's no really good way to put a bow on that game, man. It was just bad from
no. I'm gonna tell you, there's no bow for that game. But I know y'all mad, but I would encourage y'all to be inspired. And I know y'all hate to hear me say this because
they fight, dude. They fight every game.
They fight, and we almost about to win. Really, we almost about to beat really, really good teams. If we was doing this with real sorry teams, I would agree with y'all. But what I'm saying is we play Super Bowl champs, and then we play Tom Brady and them. We go to Seattle. We always, how we are with the Saints every time. We played some pretty good games, and we were in all of them. We rumbled every one of them. And even the games we was really losing, I don't know, but we started scoring and we kicked it in the gear. We started rumbling. Those boys rumbled to the end. So y'all got to understand, it was Tom Brady. It was the Bucs. So that was going to be a hard go of it. I thought we could have won, and we could have won again. Like, we make mistakes every game that help us to lose.
Well, unfortunately, this last one was the worst. I mean,
like a person on our team, man, it's either penalties, it's either like, man, Marcus, or this last game, like I said, I blame the whole team, including the coaching. Like, it was bloopers and follies. So you cannot do what like Arthur was doing. You can't be dropping balls. You can't drop intercept. We could have had 3 or 4 picks on Tom Brady. He threw a few bad passes that came right to us, and it was like, oh my God, I got a Tom Brady pick every time, dropped it. So, nah, man, you can't do that against really good teams and still win. But you lucky, it just show how good the team was. And again, I will give Smith credit in the fourth quarter. He got the coaching.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He got the coaching in the fourth and almost brought it back. So y'all got to give them boys props. They all young. They all rumble. And with a few tweaks, we can win these games. Man, we should at least be I won't even say it. I'm so fucking mad.
Yeah, I mean, the thing
is, we should have 4 wins.
Yeah, I mean, and like the things that happened in the Rams game, same thing happened here. We just started slow. Like, we got to figure out a way to get out of the box a little bit faster during the game, because I mean, we can't get down big and have to come. If we have to rely on Marcus to get us back in the game, then we got a problem.
And y'all got to realize we did this shit with no CP and Kyle Pitts.
Yeah,
still was in the game.
Which I do think, obviously, that was, we talked about CP it sucked not having him, but it was just the fact we had a lot of confidence in Tyler and Caleb, which they did. They had good games. But yeah, we still missed him, man. You can't replace that guy, and you can't replace Kyle. I mean, even though he hadn't been getting a ton of targets, like, it's just like him being out there would have changed things. No doubt about it. So, man, we got the 49ers next week. And then the Bengals, man. So what are you thinking? Are you thinking next week is Mariota's last game and he starts in Cincinnati? Are you thinking they're going to wait till the home game against the Panthers?
I think that they will wait until the home game, but I would do it now. I don't again, I agree with the dude that said it on the last show. Like he would have to look really shitty in practice for you to still be waiting on this.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm confused, because we played 5 games with a bumbling idiot, with a bumbling fool. So I'm like, I would think that anybody, it ain't just Arthur Smith, I would think that any qualified, lucid person, like, he'd have swapped him by now. So I don't really know unless again he sees something at practice like this dude. I know y'all calling for him, but I'm telling you, he's gonna be worse. But I don't know how you get worse. He got 7 turnovers only in 5 games.
Something like that, yeah.
Or 8 turnovers. Like, bruh, I don't know how you get worse than that. So I mean, I say you just get a dude to run.
Dude, I just what is going on with AB, man? I know this is not totally off topic. I just opened up Twitter.
He did something crazy again.
He just tweeted out starting my own team sign on my own team sign up, and it's the Retardinals, and it's a picture of a weird looking cardinal. Like
he said, what? The Retardinals.
The Retardinals is what he said. Yeah.
Is that a real? Is he being funny or is he starting a team?
Oh no, I'm sure he's being funny. But what are you?
I don't even get.
What are you doing? That dude is off his. Hell? The strange cat, man. No, I was just looking to see if anybody else has said anything today. Since
I just gotta jump this in there too. He is a scumbag, man. I think you leave out wives in your personal, when you're attacking a person, you leave their wife out of it,
Yeah.
And if y'all seen what he been doing to Tom Brady online, it's very childish, and it's because he might see you, man. I hope you get punched in your face for that one. You don't talk about people's wives if you being serious and you trying to be hurtful. That's too out of bounds.
Yeah, exactly.
Wives and children are out, buddy.
Yeah. So to sum everything up, man, basically game of mistakes. Mariota didn't lose it for us, didn't win it for us either, but didn't lose it. The ref definitely made the worst call it's up there, dude. It's probably top 3 that I've ever seen. I mean, the pass interference that wasn't called with the Rams Saints was probably one of the For us, it was great. If I'm a Saints fan, I'm still pissed off about it. But that was that was Savion said AB needs some help, bro. Doesn't even have the right people around him. Yeah, dude, 100%, man. I don't, man. Like, I thought he was. Yeah, I thought he needed help a long time ago, and it's something's not clicking, man. I don't know. But yeah,
you always need a friend around you who will tell you the truth, no matter how it hurts your feelings, no matter how it make you feel. You need somebody to just tell, hey, you shouldn't have did that. You shouldn't have said that. You kind of wilding. I wouldn't do that if I was you. You need one of them. If all of your friends be like, no, man, you so smart, you so funny, get away from him, because you will do something dumb.
It's facts, dude. And that's just like the president, man. You need the president doesn't need somebody that's going to be a yes man all the time. Somebody telling you that's dumb. That's a dumb fucking move, man. You need to do
stupid move. Yep.
All right, man. So anything else in the game? Because I think we pretty much hit everything, dude.
No, I just wanted to drag. I think that I don't want y'all to hone in on the Brady call sucks. That was terrible. I hate Tom Brady even more now. Just such a girl. A girl. And then the way that like the refs bow down to him is such like you have a crush on the pretty girl, so you a girl too. But I want to say, even though that's infuriating, man, all the mistakes I named, you cannot do no. So that game, we shouldn't even have been that close in that game, or we should have been up in that game. It shouldn't even have come to no stupid calling. And you cannot drop 3-4 interceptions and drop touchdown passes with ain't anybody in front of you. You can't do all that and still win a game. So I'm not as mad as you are. Be mad at Tom Brady, the ref, and the whole fucking team, because the team fucked that one up.
Yeah. And I mean, the only good thing we talked about is, I mean, they're going to, regardless of how shitty some of the plays were, I mean, there's still like 100% effort the entire game. Like there's not
from everybody.
from everybody. I
Man,
mean,
even the coaching. Yeah.
Yep. So I mean, we'll see how severe the injury is, like we talked about Mikael Walker, and if that means more Troy Anderson, he's going to get a little baptism by fire and keep it going. And
he gonna play. I'm telling you, he got after what he did. Troy was on fire. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's gonna running around with, like his hair is on fire, dude. And we'll see if we sign anybody else over the next few days. See what happens there. If if somebody has to go to IR or what happens there.
Yeah.
We'll have the preview show for the 49ers on Thursday. You want to do Thursday again?
Yeah,
Is that good work for you? Yeah, we'll do it Thursday. That gives us time to see the injury report and see all the press conferences and all the news, stuff like that around the team. And that means I got to start listening to 49er podcasts this week.
See what Kyle talking about.
Yeah, exactly. All right, man. So underrated, overrated. You got anything for me today?
Underrated. I do. I got two. I got me an underrated and an overrated. Let's do it out of your Falcon mind. First, my underrated. I saw something on Sunday that I thought was that you guys were gonna glance over and you guys were gonna overlook, but I didn't want it to be overlooked, so I made it my underrated. That play where Casey Hayward was in the end zone and he turned around and knocked the ball out. Listen to me. How many times have you seen that get called for pass interference because the person just put their hand up and run right into it? They don't turn around hardly ever. You always see that call. The skill you got to be to see the dude staring at the football, see his eyes, then turn yourself around just to not get called for pass interference. That was amazing. That's so hard to do. Shout out to Casey Hayward, man. He dropped the interception too in that game, but that is so hard to do. Y'all cannot overlook that. The man turned around and he got his hands up. So shout out to him. That play was underrated. I would say overrated. Oh man, I got a good one for this. So overrated is kind of how we envy sports stars and athletes, because you'll see a player on the field that his talent, you just say, oh, this your man, and he might be having fun, and you love that about him. You may like how he carry himself on the field, or he a great leader on the field. And then some of the stories you hear when they off the field, you like, and you try to ignore it because you think, well, he my favorite player, or he a good player. You try to ignore what he's doing in his personal life. And then there's some shit you can't ignore that just ruins the way you look at a player. I'm gonna tell you something. I love Brett Favre. I grew up on Brett Favre. Brett Favre is as far as people enjoying the game of football, I don't know anybody ever had more fun than Brett Favre. He's a pleasure to watch. He's a gunslinger. Brett Favre was wild. He'd throw it in the three people with no. Brett Favre didn't care.
But quick story before you. I mean, like,
yeah, not good.
When he was with Atlanta, like, Glanville used to bet other coaches. Like they would come out and they would talk and be like, "Hey man, that dude over there, he can throw it upper deck," and they're like, "Not hell no."
Yeah,
he was basically like Glanville's little party trick.
Yeah,
he was because he loved. I don't know if y'all know this for y'all young folks, but
he was younger
than us. Yeah, he was a Falcon and he loved the party.
Yeah,
so that dude was in Buckhead every night. Yep. So there's a reason why he didn't remain a Falcon. That was it. But anyway,
he was turning all the way up. Yeah. So we love Brett Favre for that. He's
Fleek.
Oh, Ron, what up?
What's going on, buddy?
I love Brett Favre for that reason, but I will tell you this. What Brett Favre has done in his personal life, a few things. I didn't speak on the first time where he did something wild to a girl, which you just shouldn't do. I didn't even bring that up. I didn't bring it up. I didn't want, again, how we turn our head when it's somebody we like. I try to turn my head and say, wait, well, man. But then I'm going to tell you something, young. If you're poor and you're black, if you even get EBT card or a WIC card that you're not supposed to have, you get some food stamps you're not supposed to have, they'll put your ass in jail for 4 years for $22 that you took that you wasn't supposed to take. This man took young. He has the poorest state that you are the ambassador of. You are the one who they look forward to. You are in the poorest state in the country, damn near, and you take money from welfare recipients to put into your daughter's school so her gym can be fire. You took money from people that need food, man, and you for a better gym. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something, Brett. You deserve to get 30 years in jail for this, man. It took me a long time to come to that. I swear I wasn't even going to speak on this. But when you steal from poor people and you already rich, you deserve anything you got coming. They put you under the jail. I hope you get it, man. You a fucking scumbag. You did what you did to the lady. You was a fucking scumbag. I wasn't even going to say nothing. I was going to let you breathe. Then you go steal from poor people, man. You starting to make me think that you a really shitty human being, Brett. You and them Wranglers, and you wear Wranglers. Who the fuck wear Wranglers? Okay, don't endorse Wranglers, number one. But then you taking pictures you shouldn't take. You stealing from poor people. You're starting to come off like a class, like a grade A douchebag, bro. I hope you get everything you got coming, but that's what I had to say. Is I think because I've done this a few times with a few players where they do something and I turn my head like I'm gonna just act like I didn't hear what that little thing said because I don't have no proof of that. Because I want to like the person, but when you repeatedly, and then this, man, how you not in jail when I know people, man, when you take a little bit of money you're not supposed to take. If you from the hood, you know what I'm talking about. You done swipe the card you wasn't supposed to swipe. You forged somebody's address or something. You tried to get some perks and some benefits that you may didn't qualify for, or you did. You got it in somebody else's name. They'll put your ass in jail for 3 years for $20. So go ahead, lock that man up. He sold millions. Be fair. Lock Brett Favre ass up. Him and his Wranglers need their own cell. Lock his ass up.
His Wranglers.
I'm done with Brett Favre.
No, dude, I laugh, but you're 100% right. Yeah, he's a scumbag, dude.
Yeah,
he's a 100% scumbag. And yeah, and by the way, anybody watching, feel free to, if y'all want to put any underrated, overrated, feel free.
Yeah,
we'll read them out. Yeah, so my overrated, and it's just it's a personal thing because of my kids playing baseball or whatever,
mm-hmm.
It's fucking gate fees at these damn tournaments, dude. Like we're already paying an insane amount of money for them to play for this
mm-hmm.
team, and which is not the team's fault. That's just the way it is now. But then you pay this retarded, like, I mean, insane amount of money to get in, like, for the tournament. Like, just like, so there's like, for the team has to pay, like, I don't know, $300, $400, $500 for some of these tournaments. And then they charge you $20 to get in to watch your own kid play.
That is ridiculous.
In the tournament.
Yeah.
Like, you haven't made enough? Like
admission?
Yes.
Damn. Yeah.
Yes. So, like, during the summertime, spring and summer, when you got Saturday, Sunday games, you might be paying $40, $50. If it's two of you may be paying $40, $50, $60 sometimes for both days just to get in see the kid play. And so it's like,
that's insane.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. That just pissed me off yesterday. And pissed me off even more was there's like a girl sitting there like taking money as you go in. So we had to get there early. We had to get there like 8 a.m. So they could warm up.
Mm-hmm.
So of course she's there then. She left at like 10:30. So anybody arriving after that didn't pay.
My ass is sitting there and said, "No, I had to pay. Shit, give me some money."
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Underrated, man. And look, I'm not even saying that because she doesn't listen to the show, which she might, but I don't think she does. My wife, man. My wife is underrated. We'll probably agree that my wife is underrated because I had a buddy recently who got married, and another buddy told him, "Man, it's all about change, man. Your weekend's about to go to shit. You're going to be going out and shopping, and it's just, I was like, damn, is that how your life is? Did it go to shit? Like, I don't, it's crazy. So my wife is not like that, man. Like, and we talked about it before, like, she's a football fan, but dude, my life literally did not change very much or at all when we got married. Like, and I know we got married young, got married in our like early 20s. But dude, like, I watch as much football as I want to watch. She watches it with me sometimes, or she'll do her own thing because she's got her own interests as well. My kid watches it. She doesn't. I mean, we kind of share like the house, and I think that kind of ends up like guys kind of get the idea like they're like the household duties. Yeah. For any dudes, it's just for any guys that are just newly married. Let me just tell you, man, the key to success is to share that shit, man. I'm telling you, if y'all split the duties of the household chores, wash some dishes, do some laundry, mop the floor, vacuum, whatever it is, man, I promise you your life will be so much happier. Like, because it's just, it doesn't take that long, and especially if you have kids. Like, there's already so much. Like, she works, I run a business. Liam's got 15 different things going on. Like, there's no way one person can do all that shit.
Right.
And I see my friends sometimes, some people I know, like, that's where they end up with problems.
Yeah.
So it's like, but I mean, she's awesome, man. Like, she's just, I mean, she's great with, my son, supports the hell out of him. So it's just, shout out to Amanda, my wife.
Shout out to
Underrated.
Amanda. She is the coolest. I will say this. I will give this advice criminally underrated. Savion just said the entire city of ATL is listening. The Audio Falcon Mind podcast is criminally underrated. Well, press charges. Savion, lock somebody's ass up. It's criminal how they underrate us, man. We should have 2,000 5-star reviews by now. The show is off. I will say this. I will say this. I gotta throw this in there. John told me something that I know he don't remember telling me, because this is like over 10 years ago. This is when we first met.
Shit.
Okay? John gave me a piece of advice that I never forgot. I tucked it in my back pocket and I repeated to myself here so often, if it's applicable. I say, I see people with who have children and who have wives, and almost a lot of times the people are depressed or they sad, or they tell you, man, don't do this shit. It's just a bad idea. I wish I wouldn't have did it. That's almost every dude's experience who's married. If you pull him to the side and you ask him, he'll tell you don't do it. It was he wish he wouldn't. He loves his children, but he's kind of having a bad experience. That's the bulk of it. So I was talking to John one day, and I forget the question I asked him, but John gave me this helpful hint that I'm also going to give to you guys, because I thought it was the dopest advice for finding somebody you have found. John said, I married my best friend. And that resonated with me, because I felt like that is probably why this shit don't break and they get along, because it was friendship there. It was my best friend before anything. So now, when stuff changes over time and everything, it's still your best friend. If you start off romantically, or it's just attraction physically, or you whatever reason it is, because the person got money, because they tall, because they got abs, whatever it was that you was into, man, like, it's not enough. It's not enough. Like, you start to understand that's not enough. That's an argument start and resentment start. You always have a good time. It seems the people I've seen, I'm not married, I'm saying the people I've seen who are really enjoying their life with each other still, they're best friend. Like, they get along. Like, you see them together laughing. Like, they want to experience things with each other. Like, that's their best friend. That's who they want to go eat with. That's who they want to see the movie with. That's who they want to go to the carnival. That's their best friend. Instead of the dudes out here like, I'll do anything to get away from my wife. I hope she step out for brunch with her friends and I get alone. I'm alone in the house. I just want her to get away. It's people who want that. And there's people like, I want to do everything with my best friend. I want her to go. Like, that's so John and his wife seem to be best friends. That's why you see them. And when you see them, it's visible. But I'm just saying, again, you don't have to listen to me. I'm not married. I'm saying all the people I see who are happy and they married because they married their best friend. And I actually got that from Johnny Yates, dropping Jews 2 years ago, buddy. Come on. Shout out to Johnny Yates.
Who knew? That's great that you pulled that. That's probably one day, for anybody that don't know, Mike and I worked together. That's how we met. We worked together at a unforeseen school, doing recruiting or whatever. And our cubicles were diagonally from each other.
Yeah.
And I would not have survived days there without Mike. And I think it was kind of we would crack each other up all day long, and we'd crack everybody else up, and like we just, we had a great time. Thank God, because like I said, the job was fucking terrible. And then actually, Mike, y'all made, and Mike, you probably know. I remember Mike is the very first person that I told that we're going to have a kid, because I got the phone call at work, and I just kind of sat there staring at my screen, like. And Mike was like, "Dude, look at you. Are you all right?" And I told him, and that so because that's kind of a life-changing experience. But anyway, man, it is true though. I mean, we were. There was an attraction there, but like when we met, she was dating somebody else, and actually we both were. But something about her was just different, and we became like really close friends while we're still dating. I left the chick I was like, nah, thinking more about her than I am her. So I called that a day. Plus, she got me like a book for Valentine's Day, which I thought was pretty shitty. So I was like, yeah. But Amanda was
Catcher in the Rye is not gonna get it, sweetheart.
But Amanda was still, dating her boyfriend, but it was like she was feeling the same way. But it was like I don't know. That's a long story, but yeah. Anyway, she ended up breaking up with him, and so the rest is history. But yeah, man, I just like I said, we just want to get that, and we still fight. I mean, you learn to have your fights sometimes. That's just normal. That's just going to happen. You can't live with someone and go through life together and not have disagreements. That's going to happen. Is that idea is just that you move past those things. You don't hold on to grudges and be stupid about it. So there's your marriage counseling segment of Out of Your Falcon Mind.
There you go. What can't you get on out of your Falcon mind? Like you could get the weather. I'm gonna start doing the weather, man. It's hot outside. I'm gonna start saying that shit. It's hot. It's cold. Like just basic weather.
We'll start off each show with the weather forecast.
Yeah, recipes. You get come on. It's out of your Falcon mind.
Hey, so
I do want to throw one thing in there. I gotta throw one thing in it, man. Y'all listen to me really closely, please, please, please. There are a few podcasts that cover the Atlanta Falcons. There are a few good ones. Okay.
Shout out to Savion and Philippe, who's tuned in for us because they run a great podcast. And Trayshawn and Hunter over at ATB Around the Block Falcons, the new Millennium Falcon podcast. Check it out every week. They go live on Twitter, I think 9:00 on Wednesdays. I want to say y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but check them out because it's a great listen.
They in the chat, so it's so many. They in the chat right now. You could talk to Fleet right now. You can get a Savvy right now. So many good ones, pound for pound. You could go anywhere to get right. Now, what I will say this is, they all, if you play them, they have a different thing that will draw you per podcast. Or this they do this they do this. This is kind of they cover the Falcons, but they do something a little bit different in their own way. What I'll urge you is to notice the title of this one, Out of Your Falcon Mind, okay? Now, what that means is if you want the subdued, smooth jazz 105.91, you probably should look around. If you don't want cursing, you should look around. If you don't want some jokes, you should look around. There are great options. I really wouldn't pick the one that says Out of Your Falcon Mind.
Their Twitter handle is Out of Your effing mind.
Yeah, if you're sensitive or you can't handle certain words or certain jokes, because it's not my intention or John's to offend anybody or anything of that sort. That is never on my mind. That is never the intention of the podcast. But we do joke around here an awful lot. But if your ears are brittle, you may use plenty of the podcasts. Don't pick the Out of Your Falcon Mind one. That's all I'm saying. It's common sense to you. I love you guys.
There it is. Well, guys, we will be back on Thursday, probably, I don't know, Mike, 7:00, 6:00. What's the game this week? What's the Thursday night game? Do you know?
I have no idea.
I forgot. We'll have to look. What's the good? No, wait. I think it's the. I'll look. Anyway, we'll be back at probably 7, maybe 6. If it's a good game, we'll go on earlier so we can catch the game. We didn't talk about that. How shitty was we got off? Yeah, we did this show so early on Thursday, so we could get off and watch the Colts and the Broncos.
Oh man,
my God, dude!
I'm gonna tell you what I thought was funny is Johnny Yates tried to go on Twitter and say something about Matt Ryan and was immediately attacked. And I swear it wasn't me. Immediately, John tried to criticize Matt Ryan on Twitter just slightly, and they came for him. I love it, buddy.
No, I just said I think we moved on at the right time, and dude was like, "Shut up!" And
shut up.
And if you've seen the offensive line, and he's 100% right.
Yeah.
Because I said, yeah. They've been terrible, but so has Matt. Like both can be true. Yes. Like it really can. And I hate to admit it because I love Matt to death.
Matt loved him to death the other day. Yeah.
And but those 2 picks. I mean,
what's his fault?
Right the fuck to him.
Yeah.
And I just it was hard to watch, man. It was really hard to watch. And that offensive line, they are. I don't know what happened, and I mean, dude, I'm not making any accusations, but like our line got a little better. He left. Their line was good. It got shitty when he got there.
Yeah.
Like if Marcus got sacked 5 times yesterday, Matt might have been murdered yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Like if he was our quarterback. I mean, like it was bad.
He really got a bad line over there.
There was, Taylor was out. Naheem Hines got hurt, concussed early in the game. Had no running game. Russell looked terrible, and it looked like, and it came out, he's got like a torn something in his shoulder.
He was getting booed by his own crowd.
Yeah. I mean, literally, man, in my 30 plus years of watching football,
it was one of the worst games.
Possibly the worst game I've ever seen.
No, it was.
Like if I wanted to have somebody watch football to get them to be a fan, like that would have been a terrible, terrible disaster, because they would. I would never watch another game if I was that fan.
And again, we got off early because it's Matt Ryan versus Russell Wilson, and then that game sucked.
Man, I'm telling you, I kept watching it. I kept watching it though. But what was funny about dude though online was like he was started off real angry and then turned like kind of came around to like
and then y'all started agreeing.
It was funny. I wasn't saying anything. I was just saying. I mean, like we just moved on. I mean, like it was a good time because I mean, with Arthur's offense, it's not a fit. Just like Deion Jones, it's not a fit. It's okay. It's not a big deal. Hopefully, and I mean, we'll see what the Colts can do the rest of the season.
I hope he catch on, because again, he gonna get dragged if he don't do well. It will seem like it's you, and no matter, it will be no excuse. He could have a worse line. Everybody could get hurt, and still they not gonna give you a pass, bro. So you just start winning, because you're not getting no excuse from Georgia fans or Colts fans. I think they're gonna let you have it. I think people around the league who were saying, "Oh, he gonna go over there," they're gonna let you have it if you don't, regardless of circumstance. You better do well, man.
Yeah, and I think Bradley Chubb, I think free agent next year.
Yeah.
We'd love to have him in the red black with all the money we have.
We're gonna have a lot of money, man.
All right, guys. Well, we've taken up about 1 hour and 35 minutes now, so about our regular time actually. So, but we appreciate y'all. Look, everybody that joined us today live here at early in the afternoon. We appreciate the hell out of y'all for joining the conversation. That made it great.
How have y'all joined us at 3? Why are y'all joining us at 3? Why are you not at work? I'm calling your boss right now and telling him you slacking. You should not be watching the Audio Falcon Mind podcast at 3, but I love you for doing so.
That's right. So, yeah, man. So we appreciate y'all for joining us, putting in and commenting and sending through stuff. Again, y'all can follow us, Audio or Effing Mind, on Twitter. Email us at Email us at atlfalconfancast@gmail.com. Anything you want to get off your chest, feel free. We'll read it out loud on the show. Got an awesome email a few weeks ago we read out. So if you missed that, it was fantastic. And we'll be back Thursday, 6:30, 7 o'clock. We'll preview the 49ers. Whatever news comes down between now and then, we'll talk about it. And, go into the next week. We got a home game at least. So at least there's that.
Man, I expect Fleek, Savion, Kenny G, pound for pound, y'all all drag that referee. I want that show. I want that to be across everybody's show. Everybody drag that referee on this show.
Yep, Mike's already set the standard for that one. So
you got to get him, and Brady too.
Oh, of course, yeah. So anyway, thank you guys for joining us. We will be back Thursday. Out of your Falcon mind. Much love, guys.
Stay out of your Falcon mind. Peace.